Hello everyone. It's Melissa Faust from stampwithmelissa.com. Welcome to today's video. It is Tuesday, February 24th. I thought I was confident I was going to get that without looking, but I always have to double check these days. Anywho, it's Tuesday, February 24th, 2026. It's 5 p.m. Central, which is my local time, and we are here for my weekly class to go, my weekly live video every Tuesday, 5 p.m. Central. So live at 5, don't forget. The only thing you have to keep track of, I guess, is what day of the week it actually is, because if you're like me, it gets confusing sometimes, and I know some of you can relate. Hello, Jane, Lori, Jody, Alicia. Welcome in, everybody. As you join, whether you are watching live or on the replay, please leave a comment, say hello, let me know that you're here. I do go back and look at the replay comments, so don't be ashamed. Say hi. Chat along with us like you're here with us live, because we love that. So, all right, so today we are going to play with a really fun bundle that I will tell you guys, I saw it in the mini catalog and I really liked the suite. I think that, I don't know how, but Stampin' Up, like when they, I'll just tell you, it's the Nature Walk suite. I should say that, right? Hi, Joan. When they designed the designer series paper and all of the pieces of this suite that went together, they just knocked it out of the park. This is like the most fun, easy to use nature set, especially for somebody who's not a huge outdoorsy person. I love this paper. I have mentioned before on a previous live that I'm actually going to attempt, I will say, because it's only kind of started. I should show you. Maybe I'll get up in a second and show you this, but I am going to start scrapbooking, not for like classes or anything like that, but just for myself. And I want to make books for my niece and nephew for when they turn 18. Anyway, that's a long roundabout way to say that this DSP pack, I've ordered multiple packs because I think it's just a great like neutral pack. And I think for my nephew's book, it's just going to go great with everything. So anyway, that's a really big, and we're just going to squirrel. So hold on, let me move my TV tray out of the way over here. Let me get this and show you. You guys, I spent, and I talked about this, but I spent several hours a few weekends ago going through and picking out pictures. Oh, it's not even flipped down. Silly. I'm like, why can't you see it? Well, because I have to change the view, right? I picked out pictures and all of that. Look at all of these pictures. There's 348 photos in here of my niece and nephew's life up to how old they were like a year ago. Because I did it for, I think, through when my niece was 9 and she'll be 11 in a few months. So anyway, look at this one. Isn't this cute? This is such a tangent. I had no plans to show you this, but isn't that so cute? That's one of my favorite pictures of us because I just think it's darling. And of course, we'll get one of Russell here too because he's just so handsome. So anywho, I have a lot of work to do, as you can tell. Sorry for my tangent. Thanks for being with me because that's just what we do here, right? We're friends, so we just have fun together, and I should just tell you what's going on. Hi, Marva. Hi, Lene. Hello, everybody. Yeah, so anywho, we're playing with Nature Walk. If you don't have, moral of the story, if you don't have this DSP, you need it, okay? Okay. I know. Marva, I know, it's a lot of photos, but I tried to find sketches, like scrapbook sketches or layouts that were photo heavy so that I can put a lot, because what I think I'm gonna just do is like, you know, my nephew when he's 0 years old, right, like leading up to before his first birthday, and I'm just gonna put like 15 pictures across two 2-page spreads. 2 or 3 2-page spreads per year. Wish me luck. I hope it turns out because I just yeah, and I can't keep it secret because I'm so excited about it. So I showed my brother-in-law. You guys, this is not what we were going to talk about, but I'm just going to show you, okay? So I showed my brother-in-law this. Let me find this. I was like nerding out over it, and he was like, "You're really cool, and also you're so weird." But, okay, so here's like Kylie, okay, for her first year of life, so age 0. And I went through and I've like picked pictures, okay, and I have here like this is a 3x4, and so that's the size I printed it in. But I like went through and like labeled them all. Oh my gosh, it's just gonna be so much fun. And I told the kids that as they get older, they can have some input into which pictures, but in general, I'm gonna pick because it's a gift for me, so it's gonna be my favorite pictures, right? Even if it's one where they're sticking their tongue out and it's blue because they just had a slushie. So, anywho, I know. I'm really excited. You guys are so sweet. Thanks for letting me go on that tangent. I was not planning to go there, but here we are. Anywho, today we are playing with the Nature Walk suite. This is in the mini catalog, page 38, 39. It extends a little bit past, so you can see. Actually, this is so funny. We're going to do some spritzing on one of our cards today, and I didn't even look at the catalog and notice that this was in here. We're not doing quite the same technique with it, but I didn't even realize that this was in here, and we're going to do that. Something similar. So anywho, yeah, we're going to play with this set. I love, love, love this set. Now, hear me out. You're going to look at the stamps. You might look at the stamps and go, okay, well, I have leaves and whatever. I have those types of sentiments. Please consider this incredible die set, this leaf, worth its weight in gold. Like, this is worth it. To me, you're going to see it in today's projects. But anywho, and the DSP. You can't miss those, okay? All right, so let's take a look. These are the 3 cards we're going to make together tonight. I mean, come on, look at that leaf. I love it. Every time I pick up one of these cards, I'm like, ooh, this one's my favorite. I think this one actually it might steal. You know, like if you have, we have 3 cards. Okay, Melissa, just move on. And then this one. So this is where we're going to do some spritzing, some fun technique there. So we're going to make these 3 cards together tonight. What I was going to say is, you know, like, if you love 100% of the cards and you have to divide it by 3, like these 2 would each get 33% of my love and this one gets 34%. So just slightly, this one's my favorite, just slightly, but I really like each of these cards a lot. And they were very easy to put together. So we've got some fun techniques, especially with this one here, and we're going to walk through them tonight. But if you would like the card kits for these cards, I'm happy to send them to you as a thank you gift for placing an order with me. So through this Friday, which is February 27th, I can't believe Sunday's gonna be March. That's wild. Anywho, if you place your order in my online store, $50 or more before tax and shipping, after applying Stampin' Rewards, and after applying your bonus days coupons, and please don't forget to apply your bonus days coupons because that ends on Saturday. If you don't use them by the end of the day Saturday, they're gone, okay? Please make sure you use them. And you should have gotten, I have had this question come from a few of you, and we got to get it taken care of if this applies to you. But if you're like, well, I never got my email with my coupon codes, call Stampin' Up, give them your order number from January so they can issue them to you. When you placed your order in January, you should have immediately gotten an email right after with your codes, okay? I got mine immediately after, so I didn't realize. One of you told me that they just never came, and Stampin' Up was like, oh yeah, they were never sent to you, here you go. So I don't know what was happening there because I got mine right away. So and they are spent. But anyway, we're gonna make these cards tonight. I'll walk you through it, but if you do place that order for the Nature Walk class to go, that's what I'm calling this, you're also going to get a detailed PDF tutorial. My incredible crafters team members always get my PDFs for free, all of them. Club, retreats, class to go, all of my PDFs, they get them for free, so go check that out. Or you can, even if you're not on my team and you just want the PDF, you can buy it from my PDF store. Yeah, all the links are in the description of this video, including all of the supplies I used today. Okay, you can tell. I feel like these last few weeks I've been a little squirrely, but especially today. We got some fun news. Demonstrators got some fun news in our updates today, and I'm really excited about the news we got, and so I'm kind of having a giddy day. Okay, so for this card, we've got a thick basic white card base. Look at this. Part of the suite here is this natural hues paper. I feel like you can't see this die cutting I did in here. Oh, there you go. You can see it. Hi, Patty. Hi, Nancy. Welcome. Don't worry about being late, Patty. We were just being chatty. So, okay, so I did some die cutting ahead of time in this natural hues paper with this die right here. I call it the crosshatch die. I don't know. You guys know me. I just make up names sometimes. So that's the crosshatch die. I also refer to this one as the driftwood piece. It's really not driftwood. It's probably better suited to be called like a plank. But when I was writing the tutorial, all that came to mind was driftwood. So that's what it's called, okay? Anywho, so you're going to get your natural hues piece of paper here, and then you can die cut out your It works better if I put my hand behind. I think you can see it better. Die cut out your little cross hatch pieces, or you can use this little circle guy. But I had run out of my dryer sheets for that trick, and I was not going to deal with all the pokey bits. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Okay, and then you're going to have a strip of Secret C. We're going to do some inking on this, so I'm going to set it to the side. No, we're not. We're going to do it on this. Then you're going to have a strip of the Secret C DSP. This is super duper beautiful paper. We're going to do inking on this. You'll also have a piece of Secret C to die cut out your cute little leaf there, the one I said you needed to have. You'll have some vellum to die cut out your cute leaf, right? Because we want to, because why not? The more the better, whatever that saying is. And then you're going to have a scrap piece of basic white for stamping your sentiment. So let's go ahead, let's start with stamping. You know what? No, we're going to start with our ink related activity that's not stamping. Okay. All right, I'm going to pull in my messy scrap paper and just kind of have it off to the side over here, and this is what we're going to do. Now, when we put our card together, and the reason I want to do this first is so it has time to dry, but when we put our card together, you can see that our Secret C DSP is going right on top of our Secret C strip here. Well, it's going to get lost, right? Because it's both Secret C. This has a little bit of detailing, but you can see it really blends in well. And for me, I was like, I want that to stand out a little bit more. So what I'm going to do, this is the white ink pad. So it actually comes uninked with a white refill, and you ink it yourself. So that's why mine doesn't look like it has full coverage. Mine also probably needs to be re-inked, but for this technique, it works fine. And I'm going to take my DSP and I'm just going to ink up the long edge. So I'm running it against this. Now these are foam pads, so be careful that you don't like slice your pad, you know, and just run that against. And I know it's going to be kind of hard to see, but I will show you. Oh, well, yeah, showing it on that's not going to help, Melissa, duh. Can you see the difference between that top and the bottom? You can see it, right? So we're going to go ahead and flip this around and do the same thing. Now this is like a, I don't know, it's kind of like a stickier ink. I don't know if you'd consider it like a pigment ink maybe. And so I find it just, because I don't know how you make like a white ink, you know what I'm saying? Like our other inks are. So it just needs some extra time to dry, which is why I wanted to do this first. Now I can see from the side that I'm inking it, and I definitely got it on my hand, and that's fine. But I'm just going to let it sit on my messy scrap paper to just kind of dry out while we go ahead and do the rest of our card. So now we can do our real inking. Marva saw the news. Okay, so let's go ahead. We are going to, I'll share it in the live video when we have some time to chat. I'll share what the news is in case you're curious. I'm pretty sure I'm allowed to do that because it was in the whole demonstrator base. I've definitely seen it on Facebook, so I think we're good. Okay, so Secret C ink, I stamped that sentiment there. We're going to grab out the trimmer. Did I leave enough room? Because I have my, we're going to do some die cutting tonight. So I have my TV tray set up so I don't shake the whole camera. And I needed to get my trimmer out of the drawer here. And I'm just going to trim this down. Okay, like so. And then I'm going to go about 1/2 inch, line this up, the edge of the Y on the 1/2 inch mark. And I'm going to cut an angle. I'm going to do it this way. Okay, and then we'll flip that over. Line up our T on the 1/2 inch, make that parallel with our grid line here, and cut. Totally optional. You could do that part with your snips as well, but you guys know I cannot cut a straight line. Okay, let's grab our Secret C piece here then, and we're going to angle cut this as well. So let me do, I just want this to be slight here, so we'll go like this. And then I'm going to flip it around. Now this is going to go on our card front, so we don't want it to be longer than 4 1/4. And I actually want it to be a little bit less than that, maybe 4. So I'm going to line this up on the 4 inch line, making sure that it's parallel here or right on that line. And we can just cut off the other end, okay? All right. Then we're going to grab our DSP piece here. Similar thing. I like this side. It has more of the like scratch marks in it, so I only want to cut off just a smidge of that, and then we'll cut off some more from this other end because this is a 6 inch strip. Same thing like that Secret C piece. I'm going to line this up. Maybe we'll do this one just a little bit over 4. I don't know, it's paper crafting. We just get to play. We get to play and have fun, right? And just do what looks good to you. Okay, so let's go ahead. We can start assembling here. get these little guys out of the way. We're going to grab our Natural Hues paper. It's kind of got like a linen feel. It is so fun. It comes in 3 different colors, and this is actually the lightest of the colors. So I really liked this card. I didn't think it photographed super duper awesome. In the picture, it looked a little bit different, but in person, it's so pretty. Okay, go ahead and put this on our card front. Now, if you're getting the class to go and you didn't die cut these, that's totally fine. You could also maybe like stamp on that layer, or you could just skip that part, but I liked the little bit of extra detail it gave. Okay, and then we'll take our Secret C strip and add some adhesive here. And now when I put this down, I want those little crosshatch guys showing. So I'm going to make sure not to cover them completely. And I lined that up so it's at a slant and matching the edges. Okay. All right, then we can pull in our DSP here. And my seal has boogers. Hold on. It has some goobers. Anyway, all right, then we're going to adhere this to the card. Let's see, it's all sticky, so I just want to make sure that I don't have it go over the edge of the card, just like that. And look, you can see it. You can see where the DSP starts and stops because we added that white ink. Isn't that neat? How fun is that? I don't know why that's a technique that I like really never thought about until now, was edging it. Okay, we're gonna take our leaves next. Now these are a little flimsy because the leaves are substantial and the stems are pretty small. What I'm going to do is down here on the vellum leaf, I'm actually gonna tear off this left hand sprig, I guess, and just lightly pull and tear that off so that we can kind of make it do a few extra things here, okay? So it doesn't look like we have the same leaf glued down twice. And what I'm gonna do, pull in my silicone mat, because you guys know if I don't have to use liquid glue, I'm not gonna. Hi Teresa, welcome. All right, we are going to just add some seal here to our little vellum leaves. And I find that because the dye actually has some texture in it, the adhesive doesn't show through the vellum like it normally would with a vellum, so that you can get away with that pretty nicely, okay? All right, and then we're going to grab our Secret C leaf, and that is upside down. Whoa, sorry, throwing things. And we're gonna add some dimensionals. Now some of these leaves are actually big enough. You can fit a whole dimensional. I mean, look at that, they're awesome. You need the leaves. If you didn't hear me, I said they're awesome and you need the leaves. But I whispered it. So yeah, anyway, it's our secret. You need the set. Okay. All right. And then we're going to add some minis because some of these guys are smaller. So we just want some little mini dimensionals here. And there we go. Or you can cut apart, of course, your edges of your DSP. Cut your edges of your DSP. Cut your edges of your dimensionals. Let's try that. Okay, so now we've got all of the adhesive exposed. It's ready. We're going to take the larger vellum section. Go ahead and lay that down because remember our vellum leaves had seal, so they're going to be flat, right? Oh, yay, Patty spent the weekend organizing. I love that. I think I might have an opportunity to do some organizing on Saturday, and I'm really looking forward to it. So, all right, we've got our Secret C leaf, and we're going to go ahead and attach this. And okay, so where we tore this, it's a little bit ugly. We'll just be honest, it's a little ugly, but we're probably going to cover it with our sentiment or something. But if you want to cover it with your leaf, you can also do that, okay? So go ahead and just attach that, and then we're going to pull off our little guy, right? And we're just going to kind of mix him in here, and I can put some of the leaves going on top, some underneath, because you know, plants, they grow together. Right? Did you like my hand motions? Guys, I'm in a great mood today. I feel like I'm usually in a pretty good mood, but I'm in a great mood today. Okay, so then we're going to adhere down our sentiment, and I like to just eyeball this because depending on where we put our leaves, I want this up on dimensionals, but it's going to be same level as the Secret C leaves, and I just like to make sure, you know, just in case I put a leaf down too far over here and can't fit one, I just like to eyeball that. So I think I'm in the clear, so I'm going to go ahead and just grab a couple of dimensionals and put them on the edges. And then we should be able to attach this right there in the center of our card. And you can see every card's different, right? On this one, I had it more up on the strip, and this one's a little bit lower. So you can kind of play with it and see what you like. Each card can be different, right? And then we're going to take this gorgeous, you guys, this is like an amazing ribbon. Secret Sea bordered open weave ribbon. It's so nice. I love it. So we're going to go ahead and just tie a knot with this. If I can grab it, I'm just complimenting it, and it's like, no, I don't want to make it easy for you because I'm going to be difficult. Anyway, so we're going to go ahead and just tie a little knot because this card says to a great guy. And so I thought a knot would look a little bit better than a bow in this situation. Okay, grab our glue dots, and then we can go ahead and stick this onto our card. And I wanted to put it like right about here, so it's just slightly below our sentiment. You can still see some of that cross hatching. Again, my sentiment is lower than it was in my sample, so some of that is hidden, but I still think it looks good. And I actually didn't add, I can't even believe this, I didn't add any embellishments to this card. What do you think about that? When's the last time you made a card and didn't put embellishments on it? I designed my cards initially, and then I was writing up the tutorials, and I was like, where's my embellishments? And I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't put any on this card. So if you wanted to add some, you absolutely could. We have some fun Secret Sea ones. We've got some clear epoxies, anything like that. So this is, oh yeah, this is card number 1. What do you think of that one? I love it. Alicia said she got caught in the freezing rain this morning. I know, Alicia. Okay, that is funny. Let me start this next card and then I can tell you about that too. We had random weather in Minnesota this morning. And I actually got caught in it too because I was running to the post office bringing club kits. So I had a quick break and I was like, I'm going to run to the post office. And it was, yeah, freezing rain turned to snow. And then the sun came out and melted it all in like a whole span of 2 hours. And it's like nothing ever happened ever. All right, so here is our second card. I love, love, love this one. Let's take a look here. We've got a Secret Sea card base. I guess my story was shorter than I was thinking it would be. That's the whole story. We had freezing rain and it literally came out of nowhere, and it was like sheet of ice. Like if you live in the Midwest or up north somewhere, you understand this, when you can roll down your window but the sheet of ice stays there and then you can like punch it. That's what happened this morning. All right, there is a Secret Sea layer that will be embossed for you using the exposed brick 3D embossing folder. You'll have a mat here of basic white. You'll have a piece of, oh, so beautiful. I love this pattern. You guys know I'm a sucker for a grid. So this is kind of like a crumb cake slash basic beige. It's not really either color, but it's kind of like a mix of the two, I think anyway. And so you're going to have a piece of this DSP. You're going to have a scrap piece of basic white to stamp our leaves. And then you're going to have a piece of Secret Sea here to die cut out your driftwood slash plank slash this fun little guy here. That's really awesome for just a little extra elements, right? It anchors your designs. And then you're going to have a crumb cake banner die cut from the Stylish Shapes dies. And see what I mean? Not quite crumb cake, but I didn't really think it looked quite like basic beige either. So anyway, let's go ahead. We are going to start with stamping, and I'm going to grab my Secret Sea ink and my sentiment here, which says thank you. How sweet would this be? Okay, I'm going to get my head over this, so I apologize if you can't see for a second there. Get my head over that, and then I'm going to grab our basic white piece. Now, the leaf in this stamp set is larger. Okay, let me give myself some more space here. It's a larger leaf, and when I stamped it initially, I just did it with a clear block, stamped it down, didn't get a nice image. And I was like, oh my gosh, Melissa, you just got a new stamp positioner, so let's use that. So we're going to use this. Okay, this is the new Stampin' Up! Stampin' Positioner. Demonstrators had access to pre-order this back in at the end of January, and I don't have any ink on this yet. I'm just going to make sure that that looks, let's flip it this way. Demonstrators could pre-order this. That looks good to me. Back at the end of January, and I'm going to line this up at the 2 inch so that I know where I have it, and then there's little pegs up here, so I know that it's straight up at the top. And that now the only way you can get it is by buying the starter kit, and it comes free in your starter kit through next Monday, March 2nd. So don't wait if this is something you're looking at. That starter kit special is going to end faster than we realize because it's only February 24th, but Sunday is March. I can't believe it. Anywho, so this is the bigger plate that comes with it. There's also a smaller plate that you can use for some hinge stamping. You might see I have a remnant of something that we're doing, a team event that we're doing in March, with a new set coming out next week. But anyway, you know, I like my messy scrap paper, so we're going to keep using it, right? You had an appointment. I know. It was just so bizarre. Oh my gosh, Alicia said her brother told her that his car looked like a glazed donut. If you've ever wanted to picture what we're talking about, think of a glazed donut, but a car version. Okay, so we are going to ink this up with Secret Sea ink. I get it nice and inky here. And I'm going to flip this over. We've got these little guys here that fit right in. See, these will push down. So they fit right in there. And then we're going to go ahead and just push this down. And I like to rub my like fist over the whole thing just to make sure. Now, photopolymer is sticky, right? As we know as stampers, it's sticky. So your paper might move. And that's why when I lined it up initially, I put it at the 2-inch mark just in case. Okay, but usually like I let that rise and my paper just kind of fell off of it. So that worked out. And look, that does not look quite like we want it to, right? So we're going to just ink this up again. And this is really nice because, well, if you end up not getting the whole thing inked like you were hoping to, like me, you can go right back over it. And I just want to make sure that does not look like it moved. Or if you just want a darker image, you can go right back over it also. Okay, we were right here is where we didn't get that. Sorry for the wiggling of the camera. Oh no, Lori got booted out of her internet. We had like a weird internet blip yesterday and I got kicked off of a work meeting. See, that's still not quite there, so I'm going to go ahead, just put it right back on top. Why is that one spot? That one spot's like, no, I don't want to. Okay. Fourth time's the charm. We got it. Okay, we got it. All right, so then we can pull this guy out. And I don't know why with this one stamp I was experiencing that I could not freehand stamp it. And honestly, I do think that my Secret Sea ink needs to be re-inked because I use it all the time. I use it so much. So I think it needs to be re-inked and that might be part of my problem. But anyway, let's go ahead then and die cut this out. So I've got my die here. I've got some Post-it note tape. And we'll just go ahead. My Post-it note tape is like so thin because I'm reusing it from crafting over the weekend. You know how it gets if you use Post-it note tape to hold your dies in place. I think you know what I mean. Like when you're trying to make it last a little bit longer than maybe it should, but I thought I just need to use it like for tonight and then I can get rid of it and get new, right? So anyway, it's all good. Okay, let's go ahead and see, that's how you know. That's how you know it rips. Oh man, this is all scraggly in here. Come on, buddy. There we go. We got our beautiful leaf. Okay, throw that away and grab our die because we don't want to lose it. So we're going to put it right back on that magnet sheet. Okay, now we can assemble. Isn't that kind of fun? I love that new tool. It is really awesome. For Christmas, I made for my customer Christmas cards, I did the snowman from the Festive Friends set, and I actually used my Scan and Cut to die cut out all those snowmen because well, I had to do a couple hundred of them and I was not going to sit and crank them all out. So what I did is I actually stamped one snowman, had it do an outline, and then cut a bunch. And then I used the Stamparatus, which is the other stamp positioning tool, and I lined that snowman up and I just like flipped it and kept stamping my snowman. It was awesome. So anyway, okay. So if you got one of my Christmas cards, now you'll know. You know my secret. Okay, so I adhered the embossed Secret Sea layer to the card front. Now we will go ahead and adhere our basic white mat and our DSP. The basic white mat is cut, so it could actually work as an actual mat for your DSP if you chose, right? I have adhesive, so I'm not going to stick that down. But if you chose to layer them like that, you could do that. But I'm going to actually stick this guy on first, the white piece here, at an angle, but over towards the right. And then I'll put the DSP on at an angle over towards the left. And I really liked that look. So, okay, then we can grab our Secret Sea driftwood slash plank slash whatever you want to call this thing. And we're putting some dimensionals on, peeling off the backings. And then this is going to go down here because, like I said, this is a really nice anchor for our collection now. We're going to put our leaf there, we'll put our linen thread there, our sentiment, everything like that, okay? Okay, so this bottom part of our leaf is going to get adhered right down to this Secret Sea die cut piece, and the top part we're going to want to add some dimensionals. Now for this, I'm just going to go with minis, I think, just because I think that will work a little bit better, okay? You can add as many or as few as you would like. And while I do this, I will tell you about the Stampin' Up! News. I'm really excited about these changes. They make a lot of sense to me, so I'm excited to see them come to fruition. But they made two big announcements today. The first one is that starting this year, we're no longer going to have an annual catalog. Now, don't get scared. Instead, I've been calling them seasonal catalogs, but they basically told us it's going to be like having 3 minis, but the minis are enhanced because the minis will also include things like tools, adhesives, basic things that usually you only find in the annual. So I've been calling them seasonal catalogs, which I'm really excited about because I don't know if you're like me, but once a mini comes out, I don't kick the annual catalog to the curb, but I don't really go back and look at it very often. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. Okay, I've got some linen thread here. I'm going to cut about, I think, 18 inches, and I'm using my glass mat to measure that out, but you don't really need to measure it too much. And then we're going to do a faux bow. So I'm going to go ahead and straighten this a little bit. And right down here, right to the right of my little leaf, but on that Secret Sea piece, I just added a little bit of adhesive so we can do that faux bow, okay? All right, and then the second announcement is that we're getting a new style of ink pad. I am not familiar with them. I was not a close to my heart customer back before they closed. But if you are familiar with a close to my heart ink pad, it sounds like it's the same exact case as they had. So our new ink colors that come out in May of this year will only be available in the new style of ink pad. And then they're going to do they'll do like all the other colors later. I'm really excited to try them out. They look super easy to open, and it's kind of cool. They're a magnetic lid, so when you take it off, you can either put the lid on the bottom of the base, or you can put the lid like it'll clip in next to it. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I'm excited to try them out. So I know I'm so excited to see the new catalog too. Okay, I'm gonna just tear a little piece here of our tear and tape just to put over the top. Since we've got that faux bow, we've got a lot that seal needs to hold. So I just like to add a little extra support, and I added some tear and tape there. Okay. All right. Then we can take our sentiment and add some dimensionals, and I'll just add these on the ends here so that we don't go over where that linen thread is. And I'm going to actually center it so that the linen thread is centered on the sentiment, if that makes sense. I know I said centered, sentiment, all those things. Just like that. But yeah, we've got that. And then we're going to finish this one off with like my new favorite embellishment, the Sparkle Dot Essentials. I love, love, love these. Yeah, I'm very excited about the changes. We'll see. And Alicia mentioned she's excited to see the catalog. Yeah, just over 2 weeks, and I will get to see the new catalog. I can't wait. So, because I will be at On Stage, which is Stampin' Up's demonstrator event, and I'm super excited. Okay, anywho, focus, Melissa. Here's card number 2. What do you think of this one? I love this card. I think it's so beautiful. I just love it. Okay. Let's go to card number 3. We've got a fun little technique with this one, with our leaf. We're going to do some watercoloring. Maybe we'll call it faux watercoloring. We don't need to use a brush. Okay. Yeah. All right. So let's take a look at this card. We've got a pretty peacock card base. We've got a basic white layer here, a matte. I know. Okay. Alicia said this too. So we got to see, demonstrators got to see the new ink colors today too. They're good, you guys. They are good. Actually, one of the colors, I won't tell you what it is yet. You have to be in suspense. One of the colors is a returning in color from about 10 years ago. And when I first started buying from Stampin' Up, this color and one other were the first two colors I ever bought. I still have the ink pad. I still have some cardstock. I still have some twine. So I'm really excited. So anyway, does that put you in suspense? I don't know. But yeah, they're going to be awesome. So I will share when we can see like them in person at On Stage. I will share. Teresa, if you go on the demonstrator website and then you see the ink pads, there's a couple of videos showing the new ink pad. It's the second video that they link. They actually show us all the new colors. So go check it out. Not right now because you're watching me. Just kidding. But I know the new colors are so beautiful. All right, so back to this. We've got some Nature Walk DSP here. We've got a piece of the Fluid 100 watercolor paper for you. You'll have a rectangle die cut from Basic White. We had to give a final nod to our textured notes dies. I love, love, love these dies. They're currently out of stock, but they are expected to come back, but they are also on the last chance list. So once they come back, once they sell out after that, they are gone. So add these to your list if you don't already have them because they're epic. Okay, they're never leaving my stash. And then you'll have a Basic White circle here die cut from the Stylish Shapes dies. So let's go ahead and start with stamping because that's our favorite thing to do, right? So I've got my sentiment here and my pretty peacock. So the sentiment says, "You make me smile." And we'll go ahead and ink that up and stamp this on the circle. And then we're not letting our pretty peacock ink pad go very far, okay? Oh, I stamped that a little off center there, but it's okay because it's handmade and so it's going to be loved anyway. Okay, so messy scrap paper is going to come in very, very handy here. This is my watercolor paper. It is specifically, I don't know if you can see the texture in there, but it is specifically watercolor paper because we're going to add water to it. And then I've got my Stampin' Spritzer, okay? This is just filled with water. Any kind of little spray bottle or anything like that will work. And I'm going to uncap it and just go ahead and spray my paper a couple times, okay? And then I've got my pretty peacock ink pad still open. And I've got a clear block. Now this is clear block D. You can use whatever size you want. I'm going to ink this up in pretty peacock ink. Let me close this so I don't get this all like wet and whatever. And we are going to spritz our block, okay? I'm going to do that off to the side here a little because I actually just sprayed my hand because I guess I'm not good at seeing where the nozzle's going. But you can kind of see here, I mean it's see-through, but you can kind of see that that's a little wet here. And I'm just going to press it down onto my watercolor paper. And look, it's going to start running off a bit, which is totally fine. And this is why we've got our messy scrap paper, right? And I like that. I like when it has a little bit of definition. This is still wet. It's got some ink on it. I'm going to set it over to the side a bit. And I'm going to grab my heat tool and help me to dry this off. Okay, so you should hopefully still be able to hear me, but I want to go back in with some more pretty peacock because like I said, I like that difference in the color, right? I don't want it to all be the same. If I did, I would have just cut out of cardstock. So I like the variation here. But if we keep going back in right away, it's just going to muddle the color together. So just kind of dry that a bit. Okay, you can see we have a little bit of variation, but not quite a ton. I'm going to spritz it maybe a couple more times, and then I'm going to take that same block and just add a bit more. Okay, and you do not have to cover this whole thing because we're going to die cut out that large leaf from this, and we don't need it all to be covered, right? Okay, go back in, dry it off. And just in case any of our ink is kind of going to move back and forth, which we don't, when we first stamped, we had some of that. This just adding a little extra, we don't have much of that. But I like to kind of go in like a squiggly motion. And you can just kind of keep playing with this as much or as little as you want. As you get kind of close to the end when we've dried that watercolor paper, it's not going to really have the same effect, but hey, we've got some splatters in here now that we didn't have before, right? This set aside, but don't remember not to put anything on top of it because we do still have some of that ink, right? So put it somewhere where you're going to remember not to like I don't know, set your card on top, and then all of a sudden your card's gonna have pretty peacock, and you didn't want that. I don't know. All right, just finished drying this off. You are also welcome to let it air dry, but of course, we're on video, we're live, so I'm gonna just dry it myself. I just make sure it's all nice and dry here. And we can shut that off. Let me cap this. Okay, now I am not really a messy crafter. This is one of my favorite techniques to do. It's kind of like a faux watercolor, I guess. And it's not really super duper messy, especially if you have a messy scrap paper in there, like you're good, right? Okay, so you can see we've got some fun variation. Just look how pretty that is. Here's another one I did. And I loved this so much that I kept the outline because I was like, that would look really pretty on a card too. So I kept it so I could make a card out of that. And you can just kind of play with your die here and see, maybe I'll do it this way because we can get a little bit of that white in there, you know, kind of mess around with it and see where you want to die cut that out, okay? All right, then we're going to just die cut this, and I'll do it over here. And because I did actually do it in the center, and you don't have to do it in the center, especially like maybe you wanted more of that splatter. This is another piece I think I could save for a future card. Look at that, right? Okay, moment of truth. Oh, it's so pretty! There's maybe a little bit more white at the top here than I would love, but there is a little bit of white on the other sides too. So it's kind of fun because every time you do it, you're going to get a different result. Okay, that's going in my scrap bin to make cards out of later. And oh, it's just so pretty. It's an easy technique. And you know, you can just practice it and you still get beautiful results. Even if you don't love like what your practice, you know, gave you, I would encourage you to still die cut something out of it. And something like a leaf, or maybe you have like a detailed sprig or flower or something, that would look really, really awesome with that. You could try it with greens. You can also do it with different colors. Okay, so I am just, I added some seal to my DSP and matted that, and then we'll put it on the card base. But what you could have also done is you could have used like the D block, the larger block, with like a Lost Lagoon ink, and then added on a smaller block with Pretty Peacock, right? So you have kind of that mixture of the colors too. So lots of different ways you can do that technique. It's very beautiful, it's very fun, and it's not too hard to do. So kind of a fun thing. And it's fun to do that as a background also. Just saying. All right, then we're going to take our die cut rectangle here, add some dimensionals on the back, and peel off the backings. And then we're going to go ahead and add this to the card. Now I'm going to put this over towards the right just a little bit. Okay, just so it's not quite center, but of course you can put your center if you'd like. And then we'll bring in our silicone craft mat and our beautiful leaf and add our seal here. This is going to lay right on that die cut rectangle. So we will add those. Go ahead and see how it's a little bit fragile, so just don't rip it apart. Although if you do, I mean you can piece it back together and hide it under your sentiment or something. All right, so we've got that added. Then we're going to take our sentiment and add a couple of dimensionals on the back of this. Okay, and pop this up. Now it's really hard for me to cover any of these leaves, so I'm going to go here because I cover the least amount. Okay, here I felt like it kind of covers too much, so I'm going to put it here. Oh, so pretty. It's so pretty. Okay, then we need some white baker's twine. And how fun would this be? How fun? Yeah, I said that right. How fun would it be to do this card in different colors, right? Depending on your DSP, you could make your leaf like any color. Wow, look how curly that got. Okay. We'll go ahead and just fiddle with our bow here. Maybe I do want it a little bit bigger. And trim the tails. Look at that. It's got all curly on me. And we'll grab our glue dots. Stick that on there. And then this will go right underneath our sentiment here. Okay. All right, so we've got that added. And then this one I chose to just use our trusty dusty iridescent pearls because, you know, they're just pretty. This card really doesn't need a lot of extra extravagance when you have that beautiful leaf on there. So we're just going to add a couple of pearls, and that is card number 3. What do you think of this one? Oh, I love how it turned out. You can see that DSP too has kind of a different element here. So we've got some open space here. On the very first card I made with this, which is actually upstairs, we have more open space. I mean, it's just so pretty. I love that every time you do it, that leaf is going to be different and your DSP is going to be a little bit different too. So let's pull in all 3 of our cards for today. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm so glad that you guys like it, and thank you so much. You're so sweet. Don't forget to give the video a big thumbs up. That's free, and it really helps me out, and I super duper appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, make sure you do that too. Also free. But if you would like the card kits as a to make at home, you can tell I'm all tongue-tied. If you'd like these card kits to make at home, I'm happy to send them to you as a free thank you gift from me when you place an order in my online store this week. So $50 order before tax and shipping, and after applying any of your rewards or discounts, you will get this card kit sent to you. I will mail them next Tuesday. Hopefully there won't be any freezing rain when I go to the post office next week. And oh, these two are switched. There we go. That's the order we did them in. Anywho, yeah, place your order by the end of the day this Friday, February 27th. I still can't believe it's going to be March. Wow, that's crazy. It's so crazy. Spring can come anytime now, right? Yeah, anywho, don't forget also a few other quick things. So Spring Creative Escape registration is still open. Early bird pricing did end on Sunday, but registration for that is still open through March 9th for the physical kit or into April for the virtual only. We also have a new club kit, and those cards are upstairs too because I was writing the tutorial. But we are using a brand new bundle that's releasing next week as part of the March online exclusives. It's called Help Me Grow. It is super duper fun. And the other announcement about kind of related to that bundle is that tomorrow my Hello Spring Craft Along registration opens. Super excited for that one. It's going to use the Help Me Grow bundle as well as the Scalloped Wishes bundle, both of which release next week. That Craft Along will start at the end of March, so registration will be open for a couple weeks. Opens tomorrow. Make sure you're on my email newsletter to get first access at that. Really excited about our team. Some people I've worked with before and somebody I've never worked with before, but it is a good friend of mine. So that one I will be partnering with Erica Serwin, Ange McKay, Rhonda Wade, Jennifer Hill, and Rachel Tessman on. And we are really excited about those projects. You're going to love them. So all right, I think that's all I have for you today. Don't forget to be awesome because you are. You don't even have to like remember to be awesome, I guess, because you already are. So don't forget that you are awesome. All right, thanks so much for joining me. I will catch you again next week. Bye for now.